the greatest villain. When you hear this word, you probably imagine a king, a dictator, a mass murderer, or a serial killer. Someone who ruled through blood. Someone who killed with his own hands. But what if I told you the greatest villain in history never killed anyone himself? No armies, no executions, no weapons. He was a writer, a philosopher, a man who used nothing but words. Yet even today, hundreds of years after his death, his ideas still ignite fire in people's blood. His name was Niccolò Machiavelli. The book he wrote was banned by the Pope. The Church declared it a book written by the devil's own finger. A cardinal, after reading it, said, "This man is not human. He is an agent of Satan." Kings feared him. The Church hated him. Moral philosophers despised him. And yet, every powerful person you know has read him or lives by his ideas without knowing his name. Because Machiavelli did not invent evil, he simply described it. He wrote what everyone thinks, but no one dares to say out loud. He wrote what your boss knows, but will never tell you. He wrote what successful people do, but never admit in interviews. And today, I am going to tell you the complete story of Machiavelli. Not just his ideas, but his life, his rise, his fall, his failure. Because hidden inside Machiavelli's story is a painful irony. A question that will disturb you long after this video ends. Does understanding the game of power give you power? Or do even those who understand it still lose?
The greatest villain was never a king, never a dictator, never a murderer. He never killed anyone himself. And that's what makes him dangerous. When you hear the word villain, your mind reaches for blood, for armies, for executions, for hands stained red. But history's most dangerous man never touched a weapon. No soldiers, no prisons, no graves. He wrote sentences, and sentences rewired reality. His name still burns centuries later. Niccolò Machiavelli, a writer feared more than generals, a philosopher banned by the Church. A book so dangerous, the Pope called it satanic. They said the devil himself guided his pen, not because it was evil, because it was accurate. He didn't invent evil. He described it. He didn't corrupt power. He revealed how it works. Kings read him in secret. Priests cursed him in public. Moral men hated him. Yet every ruler you know has absorbed his ideas directly or subconsciously. Because Machiavelli wrote what your boss knows but will never say. What leaders do but never admit. What success actually requires when cameras are off. Low choir pad enters. He understood something uncomfortable. Power does not reward goodness. It rewards effectiveness. Morality is praised until it interferes with control. Truth is loved until it threatens position. Machiavelli didn't tell people how to be evil. He explained why evil keeps winning. The problem isn't the truth. The problem is hearing it. But here is the irony. Nobody talks about the man who understood power better than almost anyone. Never held it. He served princes who discarded him. He advised rulers who ignored him. He explained the game perfectly and still lost. So now the question isn't whether Machiavelli was right. The question is darker. If you understand power, does it protect you? Or does knowledge alone mean nothing without position, without leverage, without cruelty? Does knowing the rules give you power, or only teach you why you don't have it? Machiavelli didn't lose because he was wrong. He lost because understanding the game is not the same as controlling it. And that is the most dangerous idea of all.
Machiavelli's story begins in Florence, Italy. The year was 1469. Florence was beautiful. Art, culture, architecture, intellect. But beneath the beauty, Florence was rotten. Machiavelli's father, Bernardo, was a lawyer, but not a successful one. He had education, he had connections, he knew important people, but he had no money. A familiar figure, isn't he? That uncle everyone knows, connected to politicians, friends in high places, yet somehow always struggling. Machiavelli's family once belonged to the elite, but his father was the poorest member of that lineage. This contradiction shaped Machiavelli deeply. His father questioned religion, never accepted beliefs blindly, always skeptical. His mother, on the other hand, was deeply religious. She wrote hymns and devotional poetry. So Machiavelli grew up between two worlds, faith and doubt, poverty and former nobility, truth and comforting lies. From childhood, he learned something dangerous. What people say they believe and how they actually behave are rarely the same. On paper, Florence was a republic. Leaders were chosen every 2 months through a lottery system. Pause and imagine this today. A new prime minister every 2 months, chosen by lucky draw. Would corruption disappear? Or would chaos explode? The idea sounded noble. No long-term power, no dictatorship. But reality was very different. Behind the curtain stood one family, the Medici. Bankers, extremely wealthy, masters of manipulation. They controlled the lottery, placed loyal men in power, ruled without ruling. Florence was not a republic. It was a dictatorship wearing a democratic mask. Machiavelli watched this closely. He learned something crucial. Power does not need a throne. Power needs control. When Machiavelli was 9 years old, a conspiracy against the Medici was uncovered. The conspirators were caught, and then they were hanged upside down from the main government building, left there for weeks, bodies rotting, the smell of death, people walking beneath them, going to work, shopping, laughing. A 9-year-old child saw this. That was his classroom. He learned, betrayal has consequences. Power punishes publicly. Fear educates faster than laws. This image never left him. In 1469, the Medici were expelled. Florence needed administrators. Machiavelli entered government service. Quietly, efficiently. He wrote documents, drafted policies, observed everything. By age 28, he became Florence's top diplomat, Secretary of War, Secretary of Foreign Affairs. At an age when most people are still confused, Machiavelli was negotiating with kings. How did he rise so fast? No records explain it, which raises an uncomfortable possibility. Perhaps he practiced what he would later preach. In 1512, the Medici returned. They remembered everything. Machiavelli was arrested, tortured, exiled, from power to nothing. No influence, no position, no respect. This is where most people break. But this is where Machiavelli wrote history. In exile, Machiavelli wrote The Prince. Not as rebellion, not as revenge, but as a job application. He dedicated it to the Medici family, the same people who destroyed him. Inside this book, he poured every lesson power had taught him. And here comes the first shock. Before Machiavelli, people believed a good ruler must be a good man. Machiavelli said, a successful ruler must be effective. Morality is personal. Power is structural. Politics and ethics are not the same game. Machiavelli asks the most famous question: is it better to be loved or feared? His answer is brutal. Both is ideal. But if you must choose, fear is safer. Why? Because love depends on gratitude. Fear depends on consequences. But he adds one warning: never be hated. Fear controls behavior. Hatred creates rebellion. Violence should be fast, calculated prayer. Prolonged cruelty breeds enemies. Machiavelli admired Cesare Borgia. Borgia conquered a city and left a deputy to rule brutally. When hatred peaked, Borgia returned and executed the deputy publicly. The people rejoiced. The lesson? Let others do the dirty work. Take credit for mercy. Politics is perception. Virtue is not virtue. It is strength, adaptability, action. Fortuna is luck. You cannot control fortune, but you can prepare for it. And now the final irony. Machiavelli never regained power. His book made him famous, but unemployable. Because revealing the rules of power makes you dangerous. And yet, every modern politician follows him. Every corporation practices him. His ideas survived, even if he didn't. You may hate Machiavelli, you may admire him, but you cannot ignore him. He didn't create evil. He removed its mask. And that is why 500 years later, we are still talking about him. Because some truths are so uncomfortable, they refuse to die.
Florence, Italy, 1469. Beauty above, decay beneath. This is where a cold mind was formed.
Art on the walls, gold in the streets, right under marble feet. A father with education, no wealth, connections everywhere, power nowhere. Knows important men, shakes their hands, still struggling, still invisible. That uncle everyone knows, close to influence, far from control.
Once elite blood, now the poorest branch. History remembered, power denied. So base strange silence stretches.
A father who questioned belief, never bowed to inherited truth. A mother writing hymns at night, fate flowing through her words. So the child grew between worlds, belief and skepticism, poverty and nobility, truth and comforting lies. And he learned men what people say they believe, and how they act are rarely the same thing. Belief is public, behavior is private. Belief is
Florence called itself a republic, leaders chosen by lottery. Every 2 months, new faces, noble idea, dangerous illusion. Behind the curtain stood bankers, the Medici, wealth without crowns, power without titles. They controlled the lottery, placed loyal men, ruled without ruling. Not a republic, a dictatorship wearing a democratic mask. Low string fronts. He watched silently and understood something crucial. Power does not need a throne, power needs control. Authority hides, influence whispers, and obedience follows systems, not speeches.
power does announce itself. Power arranges outcomes. Power doesn't announce itself. Power arranges outcomes.
9 years old, bodies hanging upside down, rotten above the street. Weeks passed, people walked below, worked, shopped, laughed. That was the lesson, that was the classroom. He learned betrayal is punished publicly. Fear teaches faster than law, and memory is the strongest chain. Braille work, polys without records. When the Medici fell, he entered quietly. Paperwork, policy, observation. No noise, no spotlight. By 28, negotiating with kings, running war, managing diplomacy. No record explains the speed, which suggests an uncomfortable truth. He practiced the rules before he wrote them. Those who understand power early move quietly.
Belief is private. Behavior is private.
returned and remembered, arrested, tortured, exiled, from influence to nothing. No position, no protection, no respect. Where most men collapse, he sharpened thoughts. He didn't write to write up, he wrote to be rehired. A job application to the men who destroyed him, and he shattered an old belief. A ruler does not need to be good, a ruler needs to be effective. Morality is personal, power is structural. Politics and ethics are not the same game. Violence, fear, love and control. Love depends on broaditude, fear depends on consequence. Fear is stable, love expires, but never be hated. Fear controls behavior, leaks and breeds rebellion. Violence must be fast, calculated, rare. Extended cruelty creates enemies. Let others do the brutality, return as mercy. Controlled perception and the crowd obeys. Politics is not action, politics is theater. Irony, virtue is not virtue, it is strength, adaptation, action. Fortuna is luck, you can't control it, only prepare for it. And here is the irony, he revealed the rules and lost power forever, because explaining control makes you dangerous. You may hate him, you may admire him, but you cannot ignore him. He didn't create evil, he removed its mask. And truth, this uncomfortable, refused to die.